David, tell us, how long ago was it when you actually joined Banners Broker?
28th of May, after an interesting call with Ian Driscoll.
That was last year then, I take it?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
And I joined them with a triple blue, and in those days we could do that. And during June, once I saw what was happening, I bought 2 more triple blues. So I came in with $1,240 and $30, and and saw how it was growing. Unfortunately, I made a business decision, which I was urged to do, which was to get the money that I'd put in, get it out. So I'd been in it for free, which I did in October.
So you drew your money out pretty quickly?
Yeah, in October.
Okay.
I drew the money out, and look at what's happened since then. It's just amazing. I've been in it for free since October. It's unbelievable.
So tell me, how did you find Banners Broker? What sort of brought you to and made you actually join BB?
Well, a friend of Ian Driscoll, David Benbow, who was on was in another company with me, another company which failed eventually, and he just asked me to have a word with Ian. I'd never met Ian before, heard about him, and I spoke to Ian. Of course, the penny dropped. The other thing he said was, anything you spend, David, I guarantee that in 40 days you don't like it, I'll give you your money back.
Right,
that was quite a big incentive, and so I'm so glad that he talked to me.
So I know you're not really, I know we spoke earlier, you're not really that internet savvy yourself. Was that something that you were worried that it might drag you down a bit with having an internet business?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a diplodocus on the old on there. I'm a bit slow on the keyboard, but I get there, and I've enjoyed helping a lot of people who've come into the business through me or through somebody below me, such as Ian. Ian and I used to share the phone. He was on to me 4 times a day at one stage.
Yeah.
And we couldn't sort of wake up in the morning without talking to each other, or go to bed at night without saying good night.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but of course, from that, I mean, Ian's has done extremely well through various people. One of them in Australia's super granny, Mary Bosveld. She came in with Ian, introduced her to me and some other deal, and yeah, she's done wonders in Australia. Got half of Australia on, I think. So it's all good, and it's not like the normal business where I've only got 20 people directly below me who can send me up sales credits, but it's all the power of what's below, people doing the work and the action that people below me take, such as Ian, sending me up sales credits, which is marvellous.
Now, I know some questions that I get asked from my team, my subscribers, people that I meet in the street, when we talk about Banners Broker business, and some people say, oh no, it's not for me, it's multi-level marketing, it's a Ponzi scheme. I mean, what would you say to those people?
Well, no, it's not like that at all. It's if you take Google, for instance, very powerful company, the most powerful company in the world now, it's getting that way, 28 billion last year turnover. If you had a Google and you were invited to come to share in the profits of Google, would you be interested? I think most people would. Most people know Google, and it's that sort of business. And you can be completely autonomous within the business. You don't need other people's money in order to sustain the business. Your business stands on its own 2 feet. You can do it completely independent of others. But I defy you to join this business and to have the success in it without telling somebody else. Yeah. And when you tell somebody else, such as my dentist, my financial advisor, if you tell anyone about it, they want to know, can I join? And it is only by an introduction. You've got to invite them into the business, which makes it private as well. It's a totally different scheme it's unique. Chris Smith has been inspired to
and who is Chris Smith?
Unique. Pardon?
And who is Chris Smith?
Chris Smith is the founder, the owner.
Yeah.
He's a co-founder, but he is the actual owner of this business, and he's just a marvellous, wonderful human being.
You've met Chris, have you? Take it.
Yes. And look what he's doing into the world. I mean, this business enables you to do such wonderful things, such as Dixon, a tall Maasai guy, very tall, living in the slums of Nairobi, and I came upon him. He was in desperate situation. Could I introduce him to anyone who could buy fish hooks. He could make fish hooks. And I said to him, no, I'll do something better than that. I'll introduce you to this business. He said, no, I've been in so... little money I've had saved up, it's all gone. I've been scammed on the internet. He was in an internet cafe at the time. And I said, doesn't matter, come into this business. I'm bringing you into the business. And within 2 months...
Did you pay it forward?
Yeah, I paid it forward for him.
That's
to
good.
enable him. Because, you know, the maximum they can make in a month is $60 in Kenya, if they've got a really good job. And he didn't have a job. No one's got a job. He's in the slum. And he's saying to me, the next thing I'll be doing, my kids can't go to school, can't afford it. I've got my elderly parents to feed. I'm looking desperately to find a way of putting food on the table, along with a lot of other people in the same situation. I brought him on within 2 months. He did have a record with his bank manager. His bank manager obviously believed him. He's a very intelligent guy. He's a qualified engineer. And he lives in a hovel, or did do, with dirt floors, wears a suit and tie to go to church. That's the sort of guy he is, very religious guy as well. And he said to me, my bank manager's going to loan me $500 what do you think? Do you think I should put it into banners? And I said, absolutely, absolutely. And I said, don't worry about the bank. If it goes wrong at the bank, I'll see to that. If it goes.
So why
wrong.
did he need to borrow $500 if you'd paid for the package for him?
Well, I paid a purple package for him, but he was so inspired by what he saw that purple package doing, so he put his $500.
He wanted to put more in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he went along to his bank manager and had a word with his bank manager, and he said, "I'll give you $500 towards it."
Right.
Obviously, his bank manager don't know whether he's got him on board or not. But anyway, he did that, and bless him. Now he's moved out of the slum. He's helping a hell of a lot of people down there. People are, I brought him onto the chat. We chatted about it, brought it out into the open. It inspired a lot of people in the chat room who are also doing very well. And they asked if there's any other families that they could assist. And Julie Templeton, one of the leading lights, she's also fortunate. I was fortunate enough to bring her into the business. And she is now organising various people. Dixon finds the families that he's going to help and bring into the business, and somebody in the UK pays it forward for them to come into it. And we've got, I've brought it, his church has come in, and his pastor, and so forth. And now Dixon's he's moved out of the slum, he's into an apartment, he's helping people, because he's a pretty intelligent guy. And he's also got enough money to get married. He's got a wife and 3 children, but not been married in the church. That costs money.
Wow.
Could never afford it. He's now having his wedding on the 1st of December. From the benefit of Banner's broker, and he's telling all his friends. And there's a big upsurge in Kenya. He's got a guy in Uganda. He's got various African countries, and hopefully BB is going to change the world of so many of the citizens of Africa,
So BB is truly changing lives around the world.
Absolutely, it's incredible.
Now, so is it that important to recruit into the business? I mean, a lot of people worry about recruiting and do I have to recruit? Some people want a business where they don't have to do that.
This business creates people who can recruit. Because somebody who says, no, I can't do that at all, you start talking about this business and you make someone who is completely inept at recruiting or referring, suddenly somebody wants to join them. Can I join? It's that sort of business.
And why do you think that is? Why does it do that?
Because it sounds too good to be true, but when it's coming from a friend who's experiencing it, it can't be too good to be true because it's actually happening. So that makes people believe in what this is all about. And it's just a wonderful.
So obviously the pyramid thing.
Well, how can it be a pyramid if I go into it? I can be completely independent with nobody, and yet I can do 25% less. That's what you earn because you have to buy your traffic instead of it coming up from below.
So with recruitment, you get free sales credits. But if you don't, you buy the traffic and you get in. It's costing you 25%.
With referring, it costs literally 25. It also By referring, it also, the company likes you to refer, and they reward you for referring by sales credits, not by money, because that's illegal. It's going to be illegal. So they're very, very keen on compliance with everything that the authorities, the various countries want them to comply to, and they're making sure that they're doing that for the longevity of the program.
Okay, super. I know Chris Smith's his vision and the whole ethos of the company is to grow it and be a people's business and to help the man off the street make some money.
I mean, I know. Very early on, we had one of the co-founders come over to Heathrow. I had a meeting there, and I met up with a guy from the city, very successful guy from the city, and he went over to Banners Broker. He used to be at Merrill Lynch. He was at Merrill Lynch for 8 years, interviewing CEOs and boards of directors regarding their suitability for their company for receiving money from Merrill Lynch. He went over.
Are they forex traders or something?
Yeah. He's
bankers.
He's rated as the number 3 forex trader in the world.
Okay.
On the independent side, although he's got a company in the city that he's doing this forex trading through. But anyway, and he's looking after billionaires and their investments with Swiss bank accounts. And his opinion to me, after going over there, bearing in mind 8 years at Merrill Lynch, looking at companies for their suitability for loans and so forth, he went over there. 72 hours he spent with Chris and the co-founders, and looked at the company from every angle. He had complete transparency. He said, I know the questions to ask, and I asked them, and they came through with flying colours. My advice to you, 20 years reputation in the city, David, is to put everything that you've got into this that you can afford without endangering, obviously, good business practice. And
Correct.
So you can't get a more qualified, more complete person to look
endorsement
at
of the business. Yeah,
there can't be a more professional endorsement in the world. And my 20 years reputation in the city rides on that. And he said, that's what I'm advising you to do.
Because I know we spoke earlier off camera, but I know you said that Steve, the guy in the city, wanted to bring his millionaire friends, and BB didn't want their money.
Yeah, that just shows you the integrity of this company, that the billionaires, multi-billionaires, could bring in $500,000, $1 million at a time. That was turned down by the owners because they, as Chris said, it's a legacy he wants to leave. It's the people of the world, not the extremely wealthy to become even more wealthy, but to help people, ordinary people, achieve a much better lifestyle. And of course in Africa, change the lives of so many in Africa, which is able to do, which I'm able to do because I'm in a position where I can help as well. So that's a fantastic, and that just proves that it's not a Ponzi. It's not a. I mean, for heaven's sake, 7 months we went, and they didn't even collect the admin charge. Now, what company would do that? That's out for all the money they can get. It doesn't happen.
Because I think
any other company, it doesn't happen.
There was more people coming in they could cope with, and obviously
they're not running out of money. Otherwise, they'd be chasing us all for money all the time.
And I think people worry that the new people coming in and buying into the business is paying the people at the top. I mean, I know that can't happen. It's because it's only one tier down, isn't it?
Your business is completely.
Because I know it's only one tier down, isn't it?
It's
like I think you said earlier that Ian, who you introduced to the business, who's my sponsor, he's making more money than you.
He's making more money than me, yeah. He is. Because he put more in it as well. And, for anyone into this business, it's a true business. It's his business. It's not mine. I'm benefiting because I'm getting sales credits.
Yeah, but you don't get an actual financial reward.
No, none at all.
For bringing anybody in.
No, because that would be... that's going to be made illegal, apparently. And So, it's just a fantastic business. I mean, everyone's pinching themselves. Is this a dream? I mean, Dixon in Kenya, he phoned me up around about Christmas and said, this is what I owe you, David. What can I tell you what you've done for me? He said, my wife sings me